Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Alyssa. If you don't know me, if you do know me and you've been following me for a little while, welcome back. It's so good to have you here. In this video I took my paintings, a couple of paintings that were meant to go in the front window of the gallery that I'm in, and so that was quite a task, and the gallery is in Fremantle, so it's just beautiful scenery. It's just inspiring just for the architecture alone, honestly. Fremantle, it's like a very old fishing town in Perth, and I take you on that. And I've been, a couple of weeks ago I sort of showed this book on fairy tales, and it's got some amazing illustrations in it, and so I give you a little bit of a book tour through that with some of the artists. There's so many beautiful artists and very different. A lot of inspiration for art journaling activities. It's given me so much inspiration over the years, honestly, a lot of them. So I give you a look at that, and also just a very small journaling art journal tour, and a little painting process based on the illustrator Kay Nielsen in here. So his work is watercolour, I believe, and very gorgeous, very different to my style, but it's just nice to gain inspiration from a lot of different sources. So very much into fairy tales at the moment. It's been a real joy. So I hope you enjoy the video, and please like and leave a comment. That would be lovely, and I'll see you later. Bye. So Fletcher and I took my paintings in, my son Fletcher, to the gallery, David Giles Art Gallery in Fremantle, and hung the paintings up, and I was really pleased with how they looked, and I was pleased with the framing. I love these dolls.
I know, I think the dolls are beautiful.
They're adorable.
And I think they're also very well priced, these
Yes,
ones here.
yes. A lot of work's gone into that.
Well, there is, because when you have a look at them, just done them beautifully.
That's
They're
adorable.
really so lovely, aren't they?
We went to the art supply shop, which was amazing. I really want to get some nice watercolors at some point, but you always want to buy more than what you can when you go to these places. So I'm wanting to have a look through this fairy tale book. I've just been so inspired by fairy tales lately. But I'll just show you some of my favourites. I mean, obviously I can't flip through the whole thing. I don't even know what my favourites are. I think I like all of them so much. I'll show you Kay Nielsen first, and then I'll come back to it. So hopefully you can see that really well. He's illustrated the 12 Dancing Princesses, and I did a whole video on this particular story and the illustrations, but I really feel like it's so worth revisiting, which I'm wanting to do today, like show a little demo. There's so many beautiful ones. And some of them are very vintage, you know, very old. Very, what's the word, folk art. This one's like your classic, you know, children's book illustration with the anthropomorphized animals that look like, you know, wearing people's clothing. But there's one here that I want to show you that's particularly interesting, is this. So this artist, and I can find the name of it, it's right at the back, I think, by Devika Landrova. She's a Czech artist, and these are stunning, very graphic, very much just with the shadows and the red. I think there was one point I was quite inspired by these illustrations just looking at silhouettes and how much sort of variation you can get with them, and it just gives you a whole different perspective. I think anything like that, looking at silhouettes and looking at aerial views, just gives you a different, just broadens your horizons as to what you can include in your compositions and things like that when you're making an artwork, because it really just takes it down to simple shapes. And it really reminds me of old black and white TVs, you know, with that graininess sort of in there. It just has a real vintagey kind of look about it. And it also reminds me of shadow puppets. I really enjoyed these illustrations. These look like they're watercolour and just really simple. And so comical as well, some of them. So this one is Sleeping Beauty, and I might find the name of this artist as well. This is by Dora Polster. She's done a lot of artwork in this book. I think she did all the silhouettes as well. And these are stunning with the bright colours. Hopefully you can see that really well. These illustrations are some of my favourites as well. Very graphic quality, like it's not painterly in the sense that you can see the brush strokes and things like that. It's very graphic, but it's gorgeous. And beautiful for inspiration for patterns and things like that. And you can always take elements from something like this and then sort of translate it into your own style. So for me, I like to use a lot of brush strokes, and I'm pretty messy and I like things to be a little bit wonky as opposed to clean cut lines. But you could still look at the patterns and, you know, just all the shapes and the way she renders like the foliage of the leaves, and just translate it into your own style. So it's just getting inspiration rather than copying. So it's really good. Like, I think us artists really inspire one another, but not to be the same. We always just put our own spin on things, which is the beauty of it. I adore this. I think, look at all of the bright coloured elves. They just look like little ornaments. And this one was another one of my favourite pictures. I just think I love the it's got that little whimsical quality, almost the flowers seem like a little halo, and everything's just in perfect proportion and perfect, nothing is overwhelming in it. Like, it's not too many flowers, but they're all different. There's so much variety and pattern, and it's so whimsical. I think that's gorgeous. And the same with this one. Beautiful. And some of the illustrations back here, I must show you, almost remind me of Klimt. the fisherman and his wife. That's actually such an interesting tale. Oh dear. Endless inspiration in this, honestly. Even just from the stories, you know, immersing yourself into the stories. And you can imagine if you've never heard of them before, this one's Rapunzel, you'd just be, you know, they would just seem really bizarre and full of wonderment, I think. Yeah, so there's only a couple of illustrations by Kay Nielsen, but I think what I love about his style is just this whimsical quality of the really long trees. It's just so elegant. But if you look up Kay Nielsen, some of his illustrations, he's got many, 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 and they're just amazing. So this is another one. Everything's very elongated and elegant, you know, and even the faces, just so beautiful. And so this book is The Fairy Tales of Brother Grimm, and it's edited by Noel Daniel. I highly recommend. I've had it for years, and it's treasure. It's a treasure, honestly. So yeah, if you love this sort of stuff, I recommend. I might give you just a very mini sketchbook tour, because I haven't done much in this one. It's sort of one that I like to use my Jo Sonja paints, which are matte acrylic, so that the pages don't stick together. But I also use a bit of mixed media in them, so I haven't really done that many pages, but I'll show you because I want to add to it today and do a picture based on my fairy tale book. So yeah, a lot of it's been mixed media. I use my neo colours in the background and just for details around here. And I really like this one. Like, it's kind of, the pages have kind of ripped a little bit in the middle, which is a shame. But I think I just like everything about it. It feels like very dreamlike, and with these figures in the background and the big painting. I would like to do a painting based on this picture. I really like it. This was just one that I did of an old photo of my mum and my auntie. I wonder if you can see it. And I've got a beautiful old photo of my grandmother and her sisters that I want to do in this book as well. So it's kind of like doing paintings and getting ideas for bigger paintings, but I don't know, I've really enjoyed working in this book, and I like the fact that it does lay flat. But with this one as well, it's sort of the paint, I had to go over this again to fix it up because the paint ripped a little bit. But this was based on our holiday in Nannup. It's not a picture of me, but it's sort of based on a photo that we took at a cafe, just with the composition and the plants and everything, and I really like this one as well. So yeah, I would potentially like to do a painting on this. And this was based on Matisse, and I don't really think that worked out very well, but it was fun to do a picture based on his work. I did this in another video a while back. Art Must Be an Expression of Love or It Is Nothing, about Marc Chagall, and one of my all-time favourite artists. I think his whole life and artwork, and how he painted scenes from his everyday life, and then later in life did stained glass windows. It just inspires me so much. This is just a scene in my art studio. I got this beautiful vase for Mother's Day, and they were my Mother's Day flowers, and I've got a gorgeous little plastic tablecloth that I painted. Yeah, so some beautiful things. This one I want to attack. I don't know if you can see it. I don't like it. It's awful. It was from a Frankie magazine, and I don't like the composition at all. So I don't know why I just can't leave it alone. But I want to get rid of the dog, and I want to put an umbrella and sort of change her a little bit. And I feel like it would have been better, I don't know, if she was a little bit off centre. It's one of those ones that feels a little bit wrong in the composition to me. Anyway, but I think it's just fine. I think it was, what I do like about it is I really like this pattern here. I really like that, and I like the way I've done some of the waves because I used some of my Neo colours to create a little bit of texture, which I don't know if you can see it or not on the video. These are some more paintings that I did based on other famous artists. So this was Chagall's painting of his lovely wife Bella, and this one is a Degas. Just gorgeous. I think if you ever want to capture emotion and movement, I think Degas just has that, you know, just the amount of paintings that he has on the ballerinas, you can just feel it. You can feel the music almost. It's just lovely, and that was really fun to paint, and they both were actually, but I like the pink and the green, and I like how this is sort of really sketchy in the background, but you know somebody's there. It feels like almost you could be dancing in a forest or on stage. We don't know. This one I got so I'm doing all of these sort of based on little art prompts. This one was based on, I have from my sister-in-law, I've got, she gave me a little deck of Saints and Angels oracle cards, and this one was Saint Hildegard of Bingen, and I sort of googled her, and I think she was a bit of a healer. Like she was a Christian mystic from, I can't remember, I off the top of my head I think 14 to 1600s, sort of maybe around Teresa of Avila or a little bit before, but she was famous for being a healer. I could look it up for you, but I changed her hair colour, I don't know why, and I gave, not overly happy with it. I wrote her name down there, but it was a nice prompt to have because I feel like all of these have got kind of interesting pictures that you could embellish a little bit, like unicorn. Yeah, so that was really good. It's a nice prompt. It's a nice art prompt to do. That one. And this one was another one from my fairy tale book. So I'll show you where I got it from. I think it's right at the back, so it won't take me very long to find. Oh, there it is. It's in the middle. I loved, which I didn't do many of them, but I'd love to concentrate just on the bottom part of this picture because I love those geese. They are adorable. They are gorgeous. So yeah, that was a lovely prompt. And oh, it's actually called the Goose Girl. And a princess is dethroned by her sly waiting maid and reduced to a lowly goose girl. Tragically, her beloved talking horse is then killed. Oh, that's so sad. And his head is hung in the village gates. They're so macabre, some of these fairy tales. When her fellow goose herder pesters her in the meadow, she magically summons the wind to whisk away his cap so she can comb her hair in peace. Interesting. And it's an oil and charcoal painting, so it's really good when they can give you what materials they use, especially for older artworks. Anyway, so that's that one. This one is an old photo of my granny and grandpa. My grandpa was Hungarian, and my dad has been wanting to go to Hungary, and so it kind of got me thinking about the Hungarian villages and how beautiful they are and how they're very linked to that sort of fairy tale landscape. They come from that neck of the woods, a lot of them. And so that's why I've been looking at Hungarian costumes. So that's on this side of the page. I have this beautiful reference here that I just love her face and I love everything about it. So I've kind of painted her a dozen times. And that's her costume. And I just did like a black and white sort of suggestion of a village. So it's all different stuff. This is around my area in Medina. That, you know, it's a sort of like very basic houses. It's not really an affluent area, but it means it's got a lot more character, so it's really fun to paint. And it's very green as well where I live, so it's just beautiful. It's like a hidden gem, nobody knows about it. It's so lovely. So this was a little Hungarian village. It's a bit clunky, but I'm kind of happy with that. It's got a picture book kind of quality. I just used my Jo Sonjas and I outlined with Texta, and I used some crayons with that as well, my Neocolors. And this was a beautiful plant that my husband bought out the front, and I did not like the picture at all, so I went over the whole thing with paint and scratched into it just to make it look more interesting, and I actually am really happy with it. So that's that one. And that's leftover paint, and today I'm going to start with a new page. And so that's my sketchbook so far. So having a closer look at the book, it seems like Kay Nielsen has actually illustrated a edition of the Grimm's Fairy Tales with his watercolours. So they are watercolours, and so these ones are actually Kay Nielsen as well, and he's rendered the trees really differently, and I love that, and I love the height that he manages to get in it. So yeah, maybe I just want to kind of look at the shape in the trees that he's done and use the little sketch that I did last night and maybe do a different composition, have one of the ladies with the big beautiful dresses or something, and have a look at doing the trees similar to this, and like his beautiful flowers that come down. But maybe I'll look at incorporating some of these patterns and things like that in my picture. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Like I was saying before, sometimes when you try too hard it doesn't work out, so I'm just going to have a play and we'll see what happens. I might leave the book open just for reference and inspiration, but I think I'll get too bogged down if I try and do the same composition, if you know what I mean, because it's very intricate and it's very different to my style. So I'm going to try and just gain inspiration from it, but incorporate it into the way I like to do things. So if I use these, I might even just use this colour, it's just deep violet. If I use these, they're water soluble, so you won't have the pencil marks. This is exciting. I've been sketching mostly this week, so I haven't done much painting, so it's really nice to get my paints out. Something about painting for me, it's just the best. But these trees are just wonderful. They're so they've got character. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep painting or being creative or whatever you do, and I hope to see you in the next one. God bless. Bye.